Have you ever wondered why you could not take courage for yourself or stick up for yourself when you really needed it most? This isn't that you were not brave. It wasn't because you did not have courage. It wasn't because you didn't know what you wanted. What it was because of is that there was once a moment in time when you had overwhelming stress or anxiety, and your body had decided that it was too painful, so your sense of self, which held your courage, has left your body for a season. You may have heard of these experiences where people say, I had an out of body experience and I was looking down on myself. That's kind of what we're talking about here. The sense of self disassociates itself from the actual body. So you've got what should be your body holds your sense of self, which is your feelings and your emotions and this awe and wonder of life. But when you go through some stress or anxiety that's too much to comprehend, sometimes a sense of self will leave the body, also known as a consciousness, and it will just hang around until it feels safe to come back in the body and express itself. And so in this video today, I want to give you three simple tips or three simple steps so that you can bring your body back to a place of peace and relaxation so that your sense of self can come and express itself again through you. And that's when life gets really fun, when you can have the boldness and the courage to be who you want to be. So I'm looking forward to that today for you. So if you find this video useful, like and subscribe. My name is Vicki Lord, and I help women every day to find their brave in life so you can truly relax. So, when you're not associated to your body, means you're disassociated. And this doesn't mean that life stops. We're still going along life, we're still walking along the path, still exercising, still doing these things, but there's a numbness there. And in some cases, it will show up as a lack of courage when you know deep inside you actually do have this courage, but it just can't be expressed at this time. And so your nervous system has related being silent or not speaking up to being safe. And so what we want to do is we want to create in ourselves again a nice healthy sense of self. And so that way we can stop observing our life and we can start truly living our life. And so the three tips I want to give you today is one is to take some time to feel the body's sensations. So we've got in our body, we've got our system full of nerves. And when I'll use the word nourish these nerves with our five senses, we can start to bring the sense of self back. And so what this means is that we'll use nature for an example. So say you go outside into nature and you see a tree. So the five senses are one is touch. So if you go and you touch the tree and let your touch sensation feel alive from the tree. And the second one is smell. So if you put your nose towards a leaf on a tree and give a little smell or smell the fresh air, what's that? What does it smell like? And let that sensation of smell really treat your body with some life from Mother Nature. And then the third thing is we can hear. So, what do you hear when you go outside into nature? Can you hear animals, or can you hear the wind, or can you hear, like, way off in the distance, some cars? What can you hear when you're outside? And then the other one is taste. So, if you're sitting there and you think to yourself, yeah, I'll close my eyes and what can I taste? And you may not taste anything, and that might be sweet enough in itself. So we've got, and then we want to look around and what can we see? What is the life full of wonder? And just doing that alone, becoming aware of your five senses in your body, you'll see that nature in itself is wonderful, and that will start to let your sense of self come into this world of wonder. And so that's tip number one is to practice your five senses. When I started doing this myself, I took my shoes off and I went outside and I walked on the grass and I actually laid down on the grass and I felt like my whole body was just being, it was a feeling like I'd never felt before. It was like so much energy going through me from the grass, laying on the grass. And it was a wonderful experience. So if you even want to go that far, and lay on the grass, close your eyes and feel nature all around you. It will change your life. It changed mine, that simple little practice. And step number two is to process the stress, because often when we go through a stressful situation, we don't actually process it. We know it happened, but we didn't process it. And so once you become aware, which you're already aware, but you probably haven't processed it. Once you process it, then your nervous system will be like, okay, this is part of the past. It's not reality right now. And so the way that we can process it is just becoming aware or knowing that it wasn't your fault. So if you look back at the time when the stress or the anxiety happened and it was too overwhelming, so part of you was like, I'm not going to be here, and you've disassociated yourself. If you go back and you look at that time when the stress happened and you ask yourself a new learning, so instead of it being a world of pain, which often stress and anxiety is, you can look at it and say, what am I to learn from that situation? How was I strong in that situation? And that learning that you get will totally change your world as well. And another example, when I did it, I looked down at the moment of the stress, and I was like, I'm actually pretty strong, you know? Someone to go through a huge amount of stress and anxiety, they're strong people. And if you're watching this video, chances are you've been through some stress as well. And so if you look back at that moment, you'll realize that you're strong as well. And so what learning do you need to learn? You know, it might not be that you're strong, it might be something totally different. But ask yourself, what I like to do is I like to pretend that I'm looking down on the past, and I ask myself that knows all truth, what do I need to learn? And the learning will be a positive learning and it will set you free. And that's how you process the past pain. So now you've got number one is your five senses out in nature, and two, you've found a new learning and you've processed the old stress. If you're finding this useful, don't forget to subscribe so that you can get more tips on finding your brave. And the third one is building trust in yourself, because you know when you've disassociated yourself from your body and your hopes and your dreams, you know, you've put yourself on hold for a while. That means that you haven't put your self-trust into play. And if you're anything like me, it's a totally foreign subject, self-trust. You know, you're just going through the daily motions of life, and then one day it's like, oh, you hear this word self-trust. And so what self-trust is that you trust your own decisions, you trust your own movement, you trust yourself on the path where you're going, and it's a beautiful world to be in. And the way that we build self-trust is by choosing one little goal that we can do each day. And that one little goal, once you do that goal, your sense of trust in yourself and pride or confidence or whatever it makes you feel, you'll be like, I did that one little thing, and then you'll be able to add another thing to it. And as you start to trust yourself in the little things, you'll end up trusting yourself in the bigger things. And then when you do go to take the courage to stick up for yourself or the courage to do something for yourself, you'll have this self-trust, then and you'll be able to really be happy with the steps you're making. So them three tips alone will change your life by understanding or feeling the senses of your body with your five senses, and getting the new learning, and then um, trusting yourself moving forward. It will change your life. And I'm so excited that you watched this video. If you did watch it, I'd like to invite you to get your free self-abandonment recovery toolkit. I'll put the link in the bio so that you can get it and you can start to go deeper and create your beautiful life moving forward. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.